This is Shaun Sport in podcast form.
The big freeze at the G took place yesterday. You would have been able to see the game, Melbourne versus Collingwood, yesterday on Channel 7, just thinking about who they were playing. But, of course, it's all to do with the amount of money that Neil Danaher has been able to raise and certainly put in the spotlight MND.
Yes.
And a lot of people over the journey have been connected to MND because they've known someone who suffered this unbelievably horrendous disease.
It is a brutal disease.
It's crazy what happens to people in this situation. But I could not believe I can still see Neil standing there and being a part of it all. And I know, we're unable to communicate with him, although he can communicate through computers and write it down and get his message over. But it is amazing to see what that man has inspired. They're coming up to $100 million raised.
The legacy will have, even when the time comes that we lose Neil, there will be an empty seat there and it'll go on for years and years.
Yeah,
that's right.
Thing. So that's the legacy he's
got. But they
reckon
that $100 million is actually progressing the research.
Yeah.
Like they're seeing real tangible advances in the way that they treat it. And early detection is the other thing that they're really honing in on, because at the moment most people don't know they've got it until a fair way down the track.
Yeah.
And if they can diagnose earlier, it can make a big difference in the outcome. So, those two things, they reckon already they're making great strides. So, and Australia's at the forefront of the research because of what he's done.
Yeah,
it's extraordinary
it's
that
amazing.
one person's made such a difference.
A couple of favourites of yours, Shaun. Sally Pearson was one of them.
She was invited to go down the slide, Nate.
Madonna, you love her.
I love her. I'm a big fan of hers. We obviously saw Nick Rewalk go down, and he was lead singer of The Killers because he got up there and sung after a grand final.
Yes.
Joel Selwood, Nick Natanui, who was part of it as well.
Let's go on to Nick Natanui first. So dressed as Bob Marley.
Very topical.
Buffalo Soldier. And then he was dressed as one of the guys from Cool Runnings, which shows the P&C committees here in Perth of how you can dress up as Cool Runnings. You must have the same shade of skin as them.
Start off as a person of colour. That's right. It's not hard.
That's the only safe way that you can do it.
So I was pointing out to Sonny, Pat Rafter, when he went down there. And
so she
didn't
have known who he was.
Pat Rafter was. And then I went on a big tangent of he was the king of Wimbledon. In fact, he wasn't, because he didn't win one. He got beaten by Goran
Ivanisevic.
Yes, I'll let you say that again. And in a 5-setter, remember that game? But anyway, Sonny didn't know what Wimbledon was. Pat Rafter was. I was disgusted.
Why?
Because he's a hero of the nation.
Oh, yeah, but he's not one of those... he is, but no one talks about him.
No, they don't.
Yeah, he was over before she was born, pretty much, so that's part of the problem.
I know, but should be taught in schools, Pat Rafter, because he was the nice guy out of all the sporting people that represented Australia over the journey.
The good bloke
Didn't he?
Hey, well and truly.
Can we go back quickly to Nick Natanui? I couldn't understand one thing that he kept on making reference to. He said, I thought I'd keep the Jamaican theme going and make sure I can kiss my lucky egg. And he kept on kissing a lucky egg.
Yes, from the movie.
Right, okay, I do not remember.
So the guy who looks less athletic than most of them, and his dad never wanted him to be a part of the Cool Runnings team.
It's the bobsled team.
He always kissed the egg and put it down his pants.
So he had a lucky. So there was a lucky egg.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
So if
it's
the
been
egg
a while
obviously
since
did
I've seen
crash, and they're
that.
going so perfectly down.
Because an egg could survive
around your balls. It's just another egg, really, isn't it? 3 eggs. No?
Okay, thanks for spelling that out. Are you done?
Wow, Shaun, you're really improper sometimes.
Shaun Sport in podcast form.
Last night, if you watched 9 Gem, you would be able to see the Australian swim trials, Nat. You enjoy them?
Yeah, I love watching swimming. It's
not Gem. I thought that's just where all the housewives were. All the real housewives.
Over on the East Coast, Nathan, they had it on the main 9 station, but over here they only had it on Gem.
It came on after Antiques Roadshow.
Did it really? That's where I thought where shows went to die.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Nat, you know, when I turned it on, I was thinking, can you get this show off? Because I want to see the swim trials. And they were going over some old chairs.
No, but I do love it when someone gets told that it's amazing the price, and then everyone goes, ooh, in the background.
Yeah, and then they mug them on the way out.
So English.
The first race of the night was Ariarne Titmus in the 400-metre freestyle, and of course she qualified fastest to be in the best lane. And she absolutely went bananas and nearly swam a world record. Now, when she was beating the line, which they put up, we all see swimming, they put up the world record.
I've always said, why don't you just grab onto it?
Yeah.
Have you?
Surf it
That's
home.
great. Like, literally,
idea.
I've never understood why a swimmer just doesn't grab onto it and then just launch themselves forward.
It's a great idea.
So you hold in one hand and lunge with the
And
other.
then lunge
It
with the
makes
other.
sense. Yeah.
World record.
She was ahead of the line for the most part, Nat, as you would have seen. Coming down to the line, obviously the line gobbled her up. She did not grab the
It's her
miracle
record,
line.
by
Well,
the
that's her
way. So,
problem.
you know.
But here's the thing. Do you want to give away too much? I mean, it's just a swim trials. You're ahead by a couple of body lengths. You're going to make it to the Olympic qualifiers anyway.
She's got other races, but I think she wanted to make a statement. Also, like, I reckon she would have got it if there was somebody going toe to toe with her in that last lap. So she was well ahead by that stage.
Shaun,
If Katie Ledecky was in the next lane, I reckon she would have got it.
From my life of breaking records, it's you don't choose the time; it just happens. I mean, it would be great if it was not during, you want it
to be the pinnacle, the Olympics.
But what
You don't
about,
agree.
like,
It
see
doesn't
people
always
do
happen that
break
way.
them in the semi-finals and stuff like that,
And
or
then
in
what
the
happens
heats.
Nat?
Yeah, then they don't win in that. So they're the world record holder and they don't win in the final. And you go, what's more important?
But if they held themselves back, then they wouldn't be the world record holder.
One of the interesting things I found was the pre-commentary before they were about to jump into the pool, and there was one of the ladies who said, I was a bit worried for Ariarne because I felt that she was a bit nervous when I was speaking to her earlier on. Then anyway, Thorpe jumps in straight away. Well, I spoke to her and she seemed as happy as Larry. And I thought, these guys are getting along famously. Be able to call this swim.
They've got to go from here to the Olympics, so get along, guys. Come on.
Yeah, the women are obviously Kaylee McEwen,
Emma McKeon.
Tough one to get through. Those girls were fantastic last night. When you saw when all the swimmers are lining up, they say what club and state they're from.
Yes.
In this race, I'm talking about the women's 400-metre freestyle, 7 of the 8 competitors were from Queensland.
Oh, wow.
And throughout the night...
Yes, a lot of them from the same club, so coached by Dean Boxall.
Yeah.
So obviously he's a specialist in that event.
No,
so that
it's because they all go to Wet and Wild.
And they get their experience from there.
Yeah, they do, Shaun.
I found it interesting that I know a lot of the swimmers go and obviously swim with him, but just about 70% of every race that happened last night, they're all from Queensland.
Yeah, I know. Dominant.
What's wrong with our weather and what's wrong with our coaches?
Well, even like Brianna Throssell, who's a great West Australian, she doesn't represent it. She's moved over. She's not. So when you looked at that, it didn't say WA because she's racing for a New South Wales club now. So, I guess that's what happens, isn't it?
That's what happens.
Isn't Ariarne Titmus isn't from Queensland anyway? She's a Tassie girl. So, she went up there because of the coaching.
Yeah, we need a centre of excellence to be able to make sure that we've got the greatest swimmers. They need to come from here.
Taught Harry this morning that Titmus is a bird. Titmouse.
To be fair, when we were Googling it, we thought it was a mouse.
It's a great bird.
But it's a good bird.
It's a bird.
Yeah, titmouse.
So that'll continue tonight. You'll be able to check out all the great swimmers. And just interestingly enough, being reported on the East Coast is North Melbourne have had a play at Elliott Yeo. And this has happened a couple of times, right? So we heard that Adelaide have proposed a contract to Elliott Yeo from the West Coast Eagles. North Melbourne, they're also saying Geelong. So he's a free agent. I find it interesting because if many clubs are having a go, that means there's something in it. There's something in it.
But
so they're having a yo-go.
Yeah.
Hey!
Take the rest of the day off.
Put that in the paper.
Didn't he move from Brisbane because he wanted to live in Perth?
Yes, correct, Nat.
So why would he leave?
3-year contract, heaps of money. I thought that this was just a dead in the water type of story a little while ago, but with other teams gathering momentum,
I can't handle people that do things just for the money.
Shaun Sport is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.